What's up, guys? It's your boy Turnbuster65 back up in this, and today we are playing Unmechanical Extended. We finished off the main game, so now we're gonna head into the extended story. Let's go. Ooh, this is kinky. So we're back down here again. Against our will? Perhaps. But I guess we must save our daughter. I'm presuming this is our daughter. I played through this first and assumed that was a couple. But upon looking at the frames in a way that this mother lover is clueless, which you'll see here in a moment, this is a father and his daughter, 100%. Also, look at the synchronization right there. I thought for a second that I had control over them when I got into that area, when they moved up and then moved back down. It was pretty freaky. No. This is our first puzzle right here, and this one of those classics. Okay, you do this switch, it does this function. And each one moves a different amount of pieces. Funny enough, I could have gotten that all in the first go if I pulled that switch there. So that was the solution. You want to rewind and saw what I done? You got the solution to the puzzle. Unfortunately, I didn't hit the right switch. Now I'm in this tandem. But don't worry, we'll be fast forwarded here soon. Yes, it took me about 2 minutes? 2 minutes? Yeah, 2 minutes sounds right. It wasn't terribly difficult, but I had to learn what operated what, and then kind of piece it together in my brain. Unfortunately, my brain didn't piece it together that fast because I was just trying to lazily do this. Ugh. Yeah, I'm doing alright. The month of October is going by smoothingly. Not doing anything for Halloween, so it's nothing I need to worry about. Maybe I'll dress up next year. I haven't worn a Halloween costume since October 2021, which I dressed up as Neo Cortex. That was pretty hilarious. Put on some yellow paint and I put the N on myself, and then I realized when I did the N that I did the N wrong. I did it facing to the left instead of the right, which Cortex has it. So that was fun. In the mirror it looks correct, but yeah. When you're looking at me, it doesn't look correct. So, whew. There we go, we got past that first puzzle. First episode puzzle, I'm gonna spoil it. It's light work. Light work. But I'm interested to see more of the dynamic of this extended story. If there are gonna be elements that implement doing puzzles with the pink bot. It hasn't happened in this episode so far. The closest has been that there. And then we have this little rock. I thought for a second this rock was going to shoot out in a non-vertical manner. Then just realized, okay, we just got to catch it in time. And then I presume we were going to put it in this button right here. So I didn't see that hatch for the pipe. But then when it rolled off, I said, okay. So I was going to open down here. And before I did that, I decided, okay, I'm going to pick up the rock again to test on the buttons. Oh yeah, I took a look at the achievements, because I wanted to go back to the achievements to see what I haven't gotten. And apparently there are more things I could have done in the first playthrough around, so I may go back, do a new game to try to get those achievements. There's no collectibles, it's all just things that you could do within the game that are just little hidden things, not necessarily nuances, but just background, just filler, for lack of better words, not Beller words. Beller words. Speaking of Beller, I don't know what a British call people bellends. I get the derogative. I think the first time I heard the term was when I was maybe 8, or let's say no later than 10 was the first time I heard the term. Of course, bellend, it sounds like bell, but as I go older, I understood. I'm still a little bit confused, but to the best of my knowledge, it's the tip of the penis looks like a bell, so they call it a bell end because of your tip being the end shaped like a bell. It's I don't know, it's dumb, but I guess it's better than being called a wanker. See, wanker to me, that's also a pretty funny term. Bellend, though, I don't get offended. If someone call me a bellend, I'll just call them a Bel Air. Okay, you little Bel Air, or you Fresh Prince of Bel Air. There we go. And that'd be a really hot joke to call back at a British person. They call you a bellend. You just call them a Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Would have sounded funny if I didn't butcher that. Oh well. Speaking of butcher, I thought I was getting a hookup at an optometrist when I went to my eye appointment last Thursday. I basically got my eyes checked because I've been worried about my vision for the past, we'll say year, for the past year. I know one of my eyes is not 20/20, it's my right eye. When I went there, the lady said I just had a mild stigmatism. So, didn't exactly get a vision reading, but it was evident that she just gave me a 20/20. She gave me a 20/20. She knows a mild stigmatism on my eye. She didn't necessarily say it was 125 or anything like that, so I guess I still have perfect vision with a mild stigmatism. It's the same thing as a person being fully functional with mild autism, or being fully functional with a mild mental disease or illness, to say. When it comes to mental issues, I don't like using the term illness. I think of illness as more so being a cold, for example, flu, chickenpox, something that affects your immunity system in some capacity. Not something that you were either genetically born with or genetically developed over the time. Because the attention span of people have gone down, so generally there's a way to contract having ADHD, not being born with it. For me though, I definitely notice that I lose focus whenever I'm writing. Whenever I go to type or write something, in my mind I know what to say, but when I go to type it, I get that pause going in my head whenever I write. Because I want to edit, make sure the grammar is right, make sure the spelling is correct, all right then and there. It's an issue I've had since time. In second grade, there was an incident where we wrote essays. That was the first introduction of it. teacher going us through the whole process of rough drafts. When we get to the rough draft, I'm usually the last person, one of the last people. And a few times I was the last person. Get the rough draft going, and then you have to do a peer check. Well, by the point I got my rough draft done, my teacher just basically kind of checked it for me. I didn't get an opportunity to do a peer check and then do my final draft, and I had about an hour to write it. Of course, I kind of just rushed through it. I mean, at that time in elementary school, you just basically copy down what you wrote and then only change the sentences that you get. But as you get higher up in grade school, you basically have to rewrite the whole thing. Because they try to teach you about the whole thesis. No. It's what? Hook, thesis, and then reasons? Something like that. No, I think hook, intro, thesis, and then your 3 plot points for the thesis are the body paragraphs, and then the conclusion is, I want to say, conclusion text, a thesis that's not a thesis, so a switched up thesis based on the new thesis. You get it. You understand. If you went to the United States English education system, you will understand. Yeah. Even now you can probably understand why I had the struggle of writing. Even though I'm a fan of writing literature, I do storytelling, I dabble in my free time. I've done, not storytelling, but I've done songwriting. Well, I've done some storytelling, such as short stories. I've written a few, and I just kind of stopped working on them. I don't want to say they're fanfics. Definitely not fanfics. Well, perhaps one could technically be called fanfiction, but nothing erotic. Even though I've done a couple of eroticas before, nothing serious, but it's relating to a particular kink that I'm not comfortable sharing yet, because it's something I'm interested in that is not a common thing. It's not the same as men being interested in breasts, butt, women being interested in chest, pecs, all that stuff. It's an uncommon kink, and it's getting a more positive view, but I'll share that at a later date. By a later date, I mean when my channel gets more popular, when the kink itself is more normalized, that sort of thing. Anywho, we're going to the period of I've fallen and I can't get out. But finally, our little child came through, fixed us up after we managed to get ourselves up in the booth. That brown mother lover looked familiar if you saw him. Very familiar. And then I thought there was something up here because I saw this opening path. I always look for little hidden crevices, just hidden paths, ways to go. Because games love to hide stuff, especially older games. Nowadays, a game does, I mean, there are modern games that still do hide stuff. But it's some of it's creative, but some of it is not as creative as the older days. I actually take that back. I think it is a little bit more creative. Some older games hid stuff too well. You want to hide something, yet you want to make it blatant. You want to make it blatant and yet simultaneously... it's tough. I don't know what the word to say, but I think you will get it. If you go back to an older game, you try to 100% something, whatever aspect, whether you do get all of the collectibles in the game, doesn't matter towards achievements or not. There are just some older games that just play stuff and make you think about doing way too much. Whereas modern games, they still hide stuff well at times. Yet there's logic as to how you would get there once you acquire something. Older games just make you have to basically try to find a glitch or a bug in the game to be able to find something. Yeah, let me stop rambling. I've been rambling for a whole freaking episode here. That's what it basically is. You're just watching me solve. You're watching a past version of me solving puzzles and hearing a more futuristic. Well, you're hearing a version of me that's further ahead in time than the person that's playing this game speak. That's the best way to put it. I don't know. I've carried this whole pipe with me. You don't need to carry the steel beam once you've gotten past the grandma stage. There we go. I've carried my child. I was gonna try to give him a name, but oh well. We're gonna be nameless. That's the name, nameless. If you want to give him a name, give the steel beam here a name in the comments below. Ugh. Keep on going up on a Saturday this time. But I bet when I hit the club, the girl'll still be juicy. Gosh dang it, I butchered that line. I ain't gonna lie. Whatever. Hope I Love Mackinon's doing well. Anyway, this is going to be the end of the episode. Thank you guys for watching. Like this video. Subscribe to become a trader today. And until next time, peace.